Hi guys, I was absolutely tickled pink with good reason to interview my next guest. Well, I've been hinting around at this for a while, so without further ado, please enjoy my interview with Latrobe, PA and Pittsburgh, PA's very own, Miss Natalie Shugars.
Hello!
Welcome to Dream Unrealistic with Jonathan Berry, where unrealistic dreams are achievable goals. In case we haven't met, my name is Jonathan Berry, and my passion is the pursuit of personal growth and success, while encouraging the dreamer to take action and make their dreams a reality. Well, guys, here at Dream Unrealistic, we have a very special guest here today. Now, especially if you live outside the Pittsburgh area, in case you have no idea who this superstar is, she is a nationally renowned entertainer. She's a singer and an actress. She's a 3-time Maxim Magazine model. She is the host and creator of the hit show Nat Around Town. She is a Latrobe legends. How's the phrase go? A Latrobe.
Legendary local.
she's a Latrobe.
It makes me sound old.
Oh my God, she's a Latrobe legendary local with the likes of Rogers. Come on. And I'm truly humbled to have her with us today. Wait. And she's on billboards all over town. I don't know where to start or or end with this one. Why don't you take your introduction over, okay?
Oh my God!
What are you up to?
Sweet. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Well, hello. Oh my goodness! Thank you. That is I'm humble. That's it's crazy. So thank you. That's a really kind introduction. I really appreciate that, Jonathan. And thank you so much for having me. It means the world. And I love what you're doing and what you're sending out and the message you have, going out to everyone. And it's so important. And so thank you for being here. And thank you at home for watching. And I got a lot of stuff shaking in the city right now. Yeah. No pun intended, because I got a shake in my hand. It's crazy. Yeah, my billboard. So yeah, the Pittsburgh Dental Spa. I've been a proud spokesperson for them for 15 years, and Dr. Runko and his staff is amazing. So I love doing that. In fact, I've got a new one coming out with a cool campaign here for the fall and winter and into the early spring. And I just paired with this amazing company too, which I'm obsessed. I live on these and oh my God, Clean Juice, they're fabulous. So wow. I just paired with them. So I'm so gracious, for that amazing introduction and to be here and to get to share some of this stuff with everyone, a positive message, which we need right now.
We definitely need a positive message right now. Well, let's get to it. What made you say yes to this interview today?
Well, from what I just said, I love what you're doing, and I think that it is so important, for everyone. For the last 10 years, since I left my recording contract and came back up here to Pittsburgh, I've been doing small blurbs of things back in front of the camera. A lot of spokesperson stuff, still performing, but for the corporate side of things, and a couple commercials here and there. Being done, the black and gold girl and doing all that stuff that I've done with our fabulous, Rooney family and football team and the Pittsburgh Steelers and for all of the sports, but so that has been really great, and that has kept me going a little bit, but it's been nothing like this last year and a half that I've been really back doing and following my extreme passions again, which is starting my show, getting back to finishing my first album, and by doing that, it really made me realize how much I missed being an artist and how much it lit up my soul. And when you do that, you can really inspire others to do the same. It's it's like addictive, you know, in a sense. And I think when other people see it, it's also contagious in the most positive way. Yeah. And so I love what you're doing because it puts the contagion out there, right, of positivity and perseverance.
It's amazing to hear you say that. It blesses me tremendously because you know, we at Dream Unrealistic, that's what we aim to do: inspire each other. And support each other in achieving our dreams. And a lot of us sit on our dreams, you know. And I just want to let people know that you don't have to sit on your dreams. You know, there's so we all have, whether you're 90 or 19. You know, we all want to do or be something, you know, other than we're doing, you know, right now. So I just want to encourage people to, you know, you can look at this young lady right here. Look at what she's going to tell you about her story and what she's been through, guys. But if Natalie can do it, we can do it.
That is 100% true. My God knows, if Natalie can do anything, anyone can do it. Aunt Katie here, I mean, we're lucky that she can, like, you know, I text, I learn like social media now, and it's all because of Kayla. But if this dog can learn new tricks, anybody can. And yes, but you know, I mean, like I said, for me, I was in the business end of it for 10 years, and I forgot what it felt like, you know, to feel this again. So thank you for, you know, for doing this and for putting it out there.
Okay, and I want to backtrack a little bit. I don't want to minimize what you've accomplished. I was reading your bio, and I was just, my jaw dropped. This is America's sweetheart, Pittsburgh's treasure, you know what I mean, sitting next to me, you know, right here. She's accomplished a lot, and I'd like to hear a little bit about what's driven her from a little girl to where she is now. And so I'll just ask you, where did it all start, and how did it all start for you?
Well, gee, how long is the show? No, I'm kidding. But, you know, truthfully, it all started since the day I was born. You know, I mean, I really was born this way. And there's been nothing else. Like some little kids when they're little, like, I want to be a fireman or a nurse or a police officer or, you know, whatever, you know. I always wanted to be a singer and a rock and roll singer or a pop star or whatever. And I loved the arts. I loved entertainment. I mean, I was 5 years old and I literally slept with an album cover as my whoopee. Yes, it was the album cover to Eddie and the Cruisers. I don't know if anyone remembers that movie, but it was awesome, right? The best soundtrack, John Cavery, the Beaver Brown Band. And so I watched that movie, and two things happened instantaneously. Number one, I wanted a 1957 Chevy Bel Air convertible. Right. And it had to be seafoam with the ivory vinyl interior. And funny enough, I had a matching Barbie car. Which was fantastic, right? I mean, talk about living the dream. Right, and and again, I was 5, and then I fell in love with Michael Perry, who played, you know, Eddie Wilson, and then I watched it and I wanted to be Eddie Wilson, and so yeah, I mean, so it all started from day one. I wanted to be nothing, and I never, except for I'm sorry, I lied. There was one summer I was obsessed with SeaWorld. God bless my father. He made so many trips to Ohio, you know, when I was little. And so I wanted to be Shamu's trainer for like a year. And my band and I discovered, unfortunately, a few years ago with what happened, horrible accident that happened at SeaWorld. Like, who would have thought that picking the career in entertainment was the safer venture? So, but anyway, but yeah, so I've always been like this. And all kidding aside, I mean, you know, the entertainment industry saved my life. You know, it really did. I came from the opposite of what I think I've allowed a lot of people to believe of me, which is I did not come from a silver spoon background, you know, and I grew up in a single wide mobile home in rural Pennsylvania with 2 parents who honestly had a terrible marriage, and they fought a ton. And you know, unfortunately, living in these small living conditions, you couldn't escape it, you know, and they you know, would be, it was violent fights, you know, physically and verbally, and, you know, I would escape in my little bedroom, and the television became my window to the world, you know, my window to go, hey, like, you can, this isn't normal, you know, and this isn't what life is, and there's this out there, there's that out there. And then I began to see these entertainers, and my first love, you know, was Elvis Presley. And I watched Elvis the early years, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. And you know, I always say Elvis saved my life, and that's why Cry Like Memphis, which is my latest single that I just released, it's about him. And I did not write that song. It was passed on to me when I was at the studio from like the vaults of Sony, and they were like,
I listened to it. I listened to it last night, by the way, her version, and I guess what you would consider the original version, and just a beautiful song, and she performs it amazingly well.
Oh, thank you. And so I watched that, and I watched Elvis, and you know, he too came from nothing, and he kind of inspired me as a little girl, you know. I mean, I can hear the fighting going on, and I would just watch him on television, and it's like, just because you don't come from something, it doesn't mean that you can't be someone. And that has become one of my, you know, life mottos that I've lived by. And so and so then I always grew up, you know, performing and everything, and you know, fighting, you know, my whole way through being a little small fry in school. I would get like bullied at school. And so I had to fight adversities and no peace at home. I had no peace at school. Then high school came, you know, I was friends with everybody, you know, kind of like cute girl now, and, you know, grew out of the awkward phases, right? And there was a girl who did not like me. And didn't like that of me, and it came out, you know, in court that she was very jealous of that and of me. And one day on school property, she attacked me when I was 16 years old, and she broke my jaw in 3 places. She broke my nose, she busted a couple of my teeth, and the school didn't handle it properly at the time. You know, the school has brought me back since, and I will mention this full circle, but which was beautiful, but at the time they did not. And the gal was charged with a felony and 2 misdemeanors, and my high school was going to let her return to high school. And because of this, I got really angry after that, you know, and it took this like really, you know, sweet girl, you know, never really rough around the edges until then, and it gave me a lot of moxie and a lot of grit. It added grit to my grace, if you will. And I'm not going to say like, I'm so glad that happened. No, but every adversity that you do face, it's how you handle it. It's how you stand back up and dust yourself off and keep moving forward that I think really builds your character.
Absolutely.
And in this business, you definitely need a thick skin, and you need that character. So it kind of gave me that extra gumption I needed to go after and chase my dreams. And so when I healed up, I actually told, you know, the school, I'm like, I'm not going to come back and allow this and graduate, you know, beside this girl, because we sat in homeroom together, and so I took the bull by the horns, and I ended up graduating early. And then I met my very first band and went on the road at 17 and left my hometown of Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and I didn't come back until, you know, 10 years later. So
wow.
That's how I got started and everything. Little pushes, you know, lots of adversity since day one. And, you know, but everybody, I think, kind of, I've allowed them to do something that we never should do, which is don't ever judge a book by its cover. Because even though, you know, you might look at this and go, oh my gosh, she's so happy and bubbly. And I bet, you know, like I said, she came from a silver spoon background, and she never probably had to overcome anything in her life. Far, far cry from the truth.
You know, I was thinking when I actually heard you mention this in another interview. You talked about you were born to do this, and I have to admit I had a similar experience growing up and as a young guy. There's a feeling that you have when you know you were meant for more. Now I don't know if that's just we dreamers, or if that's, you know, if that's all of us, you know, but you know when you're working food service somewhere and you're wiping countertops, you know, not that there's anything wrong with those types of jobs, but sometimes you know that you're meant for more than that. So I totally relate. There's more to come, and I'm sure there's more to come for Natalie. So I say obey the call. You know what I mean? You know, obey the call, and let's kick fear in the face. Actually, Natalie, you got a lot going on today, right?
Natalie has something going on every day.
Yeah. So you have such an amazing story, and you're so humble. You know, Natalie agreed to come and meet in my cozy at-home studio here, and I'm just completely humbled and I'm just so grateful of her time and experience and her willingness to share it with all of us. So let me just kind of jump ahead, and I hope we get a chance to do this again. What I'd like to do is, we are dreamers, and as far as the Dream Unrealistic group with Jonathan Berry, I'd like for us to have a growth mindset. And so going along with that whole theme of growth and not being so stuck that you can't learn, I'd like for Natalie to maybe teach me something today. So we kind of talked about this earlier, and she has a couple of ideas, so I'll let her go for it.
Sure enough. And
okay.
I think a few things, right? A few things to keep in mind in life mottos. First and foremost, you've got to put the work in, so work hard. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? Okay, and from what I did, I had to work and take advantage of every next step along the way. Left at 17, toured up and down the East Coast doing cover songs, then got the job at the House of Blues in South Carolina, then did cruise lines, then to Vegas, then record deal, then, hey, I love black and gold, right? And then from there, the Rooneys asked me to perform it as a celebrity performer at the Steelers Style Fashion Show in 2017. Then they put me in the legendary Locals book, of Latrobe, and then the high school brought me back full circle last year at homecoming and honored me at the high school pep rally. First time I have ever been back since that terrible day. So my whole point is, if you're not growing, you're dying, and like Jonathan mentioned earlier, you go kick fear in the face. Fear not. Number one, it's a sin. I'm a Christian girl, so fear not, right?
Look, she gets better and better. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just saying. So fear not, and you know what? Dang it, I mean it, because you can't be afraid. God put you on this earth, and I will get choked up. I've been through a lot with my family. I have a sister who is struggling with an opioid addiction right now, and it's been hard. You cannot live in fear, and you have to be willing to put yourself out there and to overcome every time you fall down. You can't erase the history or any bad things that have been done to you. But don't want that. Grow and learn from them, because it's how you stand back up. That's why you're here, and that's when you'll be rewarded. And that's what came full circle. That's why it was important for me to share this little moment. I've been on some of these big stages. I've gotten to do these great, cool things. Yeah. It meant more to me to stand in that gymnasium full of the energy of my fellow Wildcats from Latrobe High School. And that gave me the power, and it spoke to me that day to say, it's time to stop being scared. And it's time to start telling your true story of what the heck happened to you, because look who you could inspire by just being honest, and stop hiding behind the bubbly girl, pretty girl scenario, and start letting people get to see that you're gritty, because it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to have edge. So anyway, but other than that, so be hardworking, be perseverant, strong and resilient. Stay true to you and learn how to love yourself, because until you do that, you're never going to be great at your craft or for anyone else around you. And, honestly, always remember that you are the company you keep, personally, professionally, no matter what field of industry that you might be in. I think that's really important. I think the other thing is something that I want to teach you before I teach you something fun. And then I'll loosen the mood. I just got so serious there for a second. I feel bad. I'm never serious. I'm like a giant goofball. So anyway, something I do with my friends.
Sure.
And I didn't tell you this because I want this to come unexpected. So you mentioned about, even if you're 90, right? So something I always tell everyone, and again, no matter what industry you're in, nothing else. And I had a very smart person teach me this, and I love it. It's called the rocking chair test. Have you ever heard of it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sounds like a trusting thing.
It's pretty cool. So I do believe it came from the great Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Right? And so, take a time out, whatever time of day is better for you in your schedule, where you can go somewhere alone, 10, 20 minutes, something like that. Get in a relaxed state. Take a cocktail, take a cup of coffee, whatever. Sit somewhere that's absolutely quiet. And I want you to sit there And I want you to think you're 90 years old and you're sitting by yourself on your front porch. What did your life look like? And then start working every day to making sure you accomplish those own self goals.
Now you're gonna mess me up. You gonna have me bring the mood down now.
It's my clean juice. It makes me, there's my shameless plug. My great clean juice and my happiness, my happy juice. It makes me think good.
Cause oh my goodness, what a bolt of lightning of direction for anyone that's on the fence with their dreams and their goals. You know, vision that thing.
Yes.
You know, envision it.
What did you accomplish, even personally?
Yeah.
You got kids running. You got grandkids running around. Great grandkids running around. Have you traveled and you're sitting in this cool boutique, posh apartment in Paris because that's what you really want? Everyone's is going to be different because we are all different and we're all unique.
Weird coffee or tea or
Exactly.
Yeah,
whatever the heck you want, right?
Yeah.
What's going to be so fulfilling? So anyways, there's that, and so I'll leave you with that, like, heaviness, right?
Oh, it's beautifulness, is what it is.
But it's something fun. Do you want to learn how to pose for the camera?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, please. Because when I get there, well, it's mostly the women that I see. They hyper focus on their presence. For the camera, and it is amazing. Now the guys,
it makes a big difference, though.
The guys, I think they're doing it too, but it's just much more,
a little bit more loose, for sure.
It's almost like I'm not posing, but you so are posing,
right?
You know what I mean? But anyway, go ahead.
So I'm gonna make this maybe a little bit more for like the girls, but like the guys can take some tips from this too, right? So there's a couple things that are first off for the girls. If you always are able to, like, when you stand up. And like, you can't see my feet, but you can cross one in front of the other. I call it giving the J-Lo, so you like kick the booty out a little bit. Right, exactly. And then always pinch your shoulder blades back.
Interesting.
It pops your chest out a little bit. And it also slims and straightens your lines, And as far as the neck goes, and this is really like, it's so crazy to try to explain and watch people do it. It's like watching an awkward duck. But it really is, or like an ostrich. But what's so funny is this is one of the things that I've been taught since like way before my first Maxim Magazine, and that's when you take a photo, you actually want to pop your chin out. So like, I think of a snake head, right? So you pop it out, down, and tilt it, and that gives you it elongates everything.
So
exactly. See, ostrich.
Once you're back, once you're back here, you know what I mean.
Once you're back there,
you got the chest
here,
out.
Now take it out and down until.
Out.
Okay, now look natural.
Down until, then bam, right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, all right. Now see, this feels awkward as heck, but it probably looks cool.
But it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
Oh my goodness.
Who'd have thunk it, right?
Wow. Natalie, you're amazing. And
thanks.
I know entertainers, or and people who do what we do and what I now do, shouldn't own up to being nervous. But I was nervous about meeting Natalie today.
Oh, God.
And as you can see, she's crazy down to earth, and it's not that I thought she would be anything other than that. It's just, even before going out on stage, the jitters are there. You want everything to be perfect. Nothing is going to be perfect. You know what I mean?
And no one's perfect.
Right.
Dear God.
Right. Real is.
And thank God.
Thank God. Right. But the real is what we shoot for, and that's what we just had here today. And I again am so appreciative. Nat, should I close us out?
Yes, exactly. And I this is great. I'm so used to having to do this with my show with Nat Around Town. It's like, it's nice to like have like I get to sit back and like just chill out. Like, this is great.
Just sit back, relax, put your shoulders back, chest out.
Chest out, head down, tilt, smile.
So guys, as always, Natalie, again, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
And, I hope to see you again here soon, or one day. and guys, I love you. I think we love you. God bless you.
Very much.
We believe in you, but most importantly, guys, believe in yourself. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Home of the blues is where I live. I'm trapped inside these lonely walls that won't forgive. Surrounded by a memory, your goodbye haunts me like a Beale Street melody. That I'd do anything, I'd get down on my knees if my tears would set this ghost inside me free. I'm gonna cry like Memphis, I'm going 3 times under. I'm gonna drown my sorrow in tears that roll like thunder, till I can find the strength so I can carry on. I'm gonna cry like Memphis when they heard King was gone. Love me tender, cuts through the dark, coming from an open window of a passing car. And in that moment